It's nap time. Let's start in mountain pose for our practice today. We are using props. I think everyone's got a bolster, a block, and a blanket is optional today. So we're going to begin in mountain pose. We'll get right into our practice. So just take your time, just make your way here. And start with a few deep breaths. You might breathe in fully and completely to fill your lungs. And exhale through the mouth at the side, just to feel some tension, perhaps release from your body. And a nice full breath in, filling yourself up. And a complete exhale. Good. Just continue to settle in. Experiencing the feeling of your breath, the sound of your breath. Simple ways to be more aware, to be more present, to bring you to this moment. These nice deep breaths allow you to pay more attention to what's going on inside of you and letting go of the things going on outside. Take this journey inward. Slow, steady breaths. Awareness of the sound and the feeling of breath. As you're breathing in this next time, just feel the breath rising again to fill your lungs. This time on your exhale, as you're able, draw your belly button in towards your spine. Just a light pull, just to be aware of your center body. This light contraction of the abdominal muscles. Awareness of your center, connecting to the abdominal lung. That sensation just helps you to stand tall and proud, be here in stillness. Also gives you the support as you move through your practice today. Let's take 3 more breaths. These breaths preparing your body to move. To move, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just treat it like a nice stretch. Reach all the way up. And exhale, slowly fold forward. So we're hinging at the hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Just guide your way down. Nice, good control. Just make your way down either partially or all the way. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or your knees and extend your spine, long, flat back. And exhale, fold right back down to your forward fold. Hold here. Natural stretch and lengthening through the backs of your legs. Loosening the curvature of your spine. If you happen to be hanging heavily forward, just feeling gravity draw you downward. To perhaps feel heavier, hold on to opposite elbows. Your arms are free, some movement, a little circle of the shoulders, a little sway of your upper body, left and right. And releasing your head and neck, just slowly nod yes, shake your head no. Let's return to a halfway lift. So inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees, we'll rise up halfway. We'll hold here for a moment. Just be aware of your feet rooted strongly into the ground. Solid. You're not shifting forward toward your toes. You're not sitting back into your heels. But finding the center. Soft knees. Just feel the energy and strength in your supportive legs. Continue to lengthen through the spine. Stand from here, but first shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees to lower your hips. Chest and inhale, extend your arms out. Reach up, inhale, and exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart, or bring your arms down to your side, either one. Just pause here for a moment. Let's move through that sequence again, just warming up the body. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, reach a little higher as you're able. Exhale, fold forward. Another good hinge from the hips, yes. Soft knees, guide your way down, either all the way or partially down. Inhale, rise up halfway. Just feel the crown of your head lead you forward. Exhale, back down, slowly, carefully, again partially or all the way. That same weight shift into your heels, bend your knees to lower hips. Let's rise up. Inhale, scoop your arms out and up, reach a little higher. And exhale, hands to heart or arms down to your side. Another pause, another check-in with your breath. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We'll just add on to our sequence. You're ready, inhale, taking the arms out and up. Nice energy in your hands and fingers. Exhale, lead with heart, fold forward. Soft knees, guide your way down. Inhale, rise up halfway, sliding the hands up the legs, extend the spine. On this exhale, fold, bend your knees, get low enough to place your hands on your mat. Walk or step the feet back to plank pose. Just pause here for a moment. Just feel the energy and strength in your body. Strong, straight arms. You can feel the inner arms squeeze towards each other like you're holding on to something between the arms. Take a breath in. And on this exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips up into the air. A shortcut to downward facing dog. Just going to pause here for a moment. Let's take another full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or even hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat. You'll be in forward fold. Inhale, extend through spine. Exhale, fold again. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive and come all the way up, reaching high. Keep it moving. Exhale, take chair pose. Take a short seat or a high seat at first, and then just slowly sink down into the seat. Breathe in, and then exhale, dive out of your seat, back down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway to a flat back like a table. There you go. Exhale, fold, back down we go. Hands to the mat. Hop or step back, plank pose. Hold for a moment. Now this exhale, you can take that same shortcut to down dog, or exhale, bend elbows and come down, finishing the push-up to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to a back bend, perhaps upward facing dog or cobra pose. Exhale onto your toes, hips float into the air, downward facing dog. Pausing another moment here, maybe adjusting your feet, maybe even your hands on your mat. Take a moment to pedal the feet. Press one heel down as the other heel lifts, and then alternate, just getting that nice stretch and lengthening through the calf muscles, feeling this in the toes. Just a couple more times on each side, and we'll add a lunge. Here we go. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you, strong straight line. Exhale, extend right foot to the top of the mat, land behind the right wrist is good. Turn your left heel to the floor behind you. Be sure to shift weight back into that foot so you feel balanced on 2 feet. Lift your hands, reach forward with straight arms. Rise up to a warrior one. We're going to hold warrior one for a moment. But first, just reach up a little higher and then lunge a little lower. We're going to stay here, but bring your arms down just to relax the shoulders for a moment. Let's just check in with the alignment here, making sure our right knee, toes are pointing forward. Be aware if your knee happens to dip inside, you want to feel the energy of your outer right thigh moving to the right side of the room. Left leg turned out, get a nice hip flexor stretch. Let's inhale, extend the arms back up. Exhale, hinge and fold, hands back down. Step back, plank pose. Finishing your sequence to get to down dog, you can take the shortcut or go through chaturanga. You can certainly bring knees to the floor first, then chest. Cobra is a good option for a back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Each time can be different. Inhale to extend left leg up behind you, strong straight line. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat or behind the left hand. Right heel to the floor behind you, the whole foot. Root back into that foot so it's on solid ground. Reach forward, hinge from hips, rising up. Once we're here, reach up a little higher, lunge a little lower. Another pause, just rest the arms, bring them down, and just a quick check-in with the front leg, knee and toes pointing forward. Right leg turned out. Don't worry too much where your foot is turned in. If it feels more natural to have that foot turned out, do that. Just want to be mindful of your joints, your hip, knee, and ankles there. Let's inhale, reach the arms straight up again. Exhale, hinge and fold, hands to the mat, back to our plank pose. and complete the series as you like. You can always take that shortcut each time or some variation of movement to get you to down dog. Pause for a moment in down dog. Then you'll bring knees to the floor. Gently kneel down. Sit back briefly in hero pose, just so you can experience kind of this opening and stretch in the thighs, knees, shins, and ankles right there. And then sit off to the side here. We'll swing the legs around to the front. If you need to scoot forward, you need room behind you because you're going to roll down onto your back. So lie down and bring knees into chest. We'll do a couple poses here on the ground. But first, as you hug knees in, any natural movements in the body. Movement of the legs and hips, getting into your back. Some movement of your feet. All right, let's start with bridge pose. Let's plant the feet into the ground. When you're ready, breathe in completely to fill your lungs. Maybe exhale through the mouth so you can feel the air leave your belly, and then lift your hips into the air. And just continue to let them float up, or you can just pause at any point. You can even use your hands to help hold yourself up or bring in a block to sit on underneath you, or even your bolster for a more supported pose. Or just continue to lift and notice these changes, these shifts in sensation in the body. Notice your thighs, hip flexors, underneath you, hamstrings. Lift high enough, squeeze the glutes, engage the glute muscles. And for a broader back bend, perhaps, just rock left and right, your upper body, getting your shoulders a bit more underneath you. So you have this little bit more of an opening through the chest, that stretch quality across the chest from shoulder to shoulder. Take a breath in, and exhale, start to soften the pose. Start to wiggle the feet forward. Extend your arms up into the air. That should get the shoulders out from underneath you. Now roll your way all the way down to the ground. Land safely. Extend the legs out front. Reach your arms behind you. Reach and stretch. We're going to do another pose on the floor here. Just bring your arms down by your side like you're in Shavasana. And then bend your knees and just plant the feet into the ground. And just hold here for a moment. Just let the body kind of soften into the pose. Let's do a reclining pigeon, more formally, eye of the needle pose. Pick up your right foot. We're going to cross right ankle over left thigh. That right foot, flex the foot so we keep it active. Right knee pointing as best as you can towards the right side of the room. So you kind of get this number 4 kind of sensation or look. Now this could be enough of a hip opener, but if you need more sensation, pick up left foot, draw the legs toward yourself. Now your right hand and arm is the thread, and so you're going to thread the eye of the needle just through the little space there. Hold on to left shin or left hamstrings, and there you are. Just notice any sensations in the right leg, perhaps. I notice this in my glutes, kind of outer hip area. I tend to get tight in those spaces. You can always vary the intensity by drawing the legs closer or even lifting your upper body up towards the cross leg, or certainly soften it, taking the legs away. Let's add this sensation as an option. Extend the left leg into the air. Just hold on to the leg with the hands. Maybe flex the foot so your heel is reaching up towards the ceiling just to get this hamstring stretch. You might even sense that your toes are trying to go over your head towards the wall behind you. Just a couple more breaths with this. Again, this leg extension is an option. 2 more breaths. And then we'll bend the left knee, set the left foot back down onto the floor, uncross the leg, and both feet on the floor. Another pause, soften, release. All right, same hip opener on the other side. Picking up left foot, we'll cross left ankle over right thigh, flex the left foot just to keep it active. And the knee is pointing directly towards the left side of the room as best as you can. Again, this could be the end of the pose, but if you need more sensation, pick up right foot, draw the legs towards yourself. Let's thread the needle with the left arm. Holding on to right shin or the hamstrings. Breathing with the sensation. Noticing where you do have sensation. Send breath to those areas. Another option is to extend the right leg. Holding onto the back of the leg with the hands, flexing the foot so the heel is reaching up towards the ceiling, just to get that full length of the leg. Toes are feeling like they're going over your head towards the wall behind you. To intensify, again, you can maybe lift your upper body up towards the crossed legs. 2 more breaths. Let's begin to soften. We'll bend the right knee. We'll set the right foot onto the floor. Uncross the legs. Both feet on the floor. Let the body come back to neutral. Let's get ready to reactivate and draw both knees into chest. Start to rock forward and back so you can rock up to seated or roll to one side and press yourself up to seated. We'll come to boat pose here. And just set yourself up for boat. I like to hold on to bent knees, extend the spine, and then lean back. Now the heels can stay on the floor, but you can certainly lift the feet. Do energize the feet, just flex the feet or point your toes, just something active. Legs can remain bent. You can extend the legs a little or a lot. Holding on or free up the hands. Again, as we breathe in, feel the lengthening of the spine, fill up the lungs. You can exhale through the mouth so you can feel the air leave the belly. Contract the muscles. Little squeeze. Let's move on this one. We're going to breathe in like you're floating up. Then exhale, cross legs as you're able, hands in front or even to the side. So we can get the legs back behind us to plank pose. Strong straight line. Arms hugging in towards center. Core engagement. Take a shortcut to down dog. Lifting hips into the sky. Adjusting the feet, adjusting your hands. Let's add another lunge. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Let's hold that for a moment. Get longer as you're able. Let's open the hip. Bend your right knee. Bring heel down towards backside. Yes, lifting the knee a bit. Little twist, little opening. Inhale. And exhale, unwind and step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Once landed, turn left heel to the floor behind you. Again, put weight into that back foot. Free the hands, reach forward. Hinge from hips, rise up, warrior 1. And exhale, opening to your warrior 2. Adjusting the feet so you have good balance. Checking in with alignment. Right knee and toes pointing forward. Here, I know I do this. The left leg kind of turns out. The foot turns out. That just helps my left inner thigh open a bit more. Side angle pose. Reach out over the right leg to angle the upper half of the body. Rotate the arms. There you go. Reach down. Reach up. So you have this nice opening in the front body. No worries if you're up high in the pose. You don't have to touch the ground with the hand. Good. Breathing. Feeling the sensations in the body. Let's move here. Breathe in. Exhale, we'll turn, fold, hands back down to the ground. Step right foot back to meet the other plank pose. Strong straight line. Another shortcut to down dog. Soft knees, hips to sky. Downward facing dog. Make adjustments with feet and hands. We'll do the other side. Inhale, extend left leg up. Bend and twist open for a nice hip opener. Next, exhale, unwind, step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the earth behind you. Root back, find center. Light hands. Rise up to our first warrior. Exhale, opening to your warrior 2. Adjustment with feet. Checking in with alignment, even maybe making a little bit more space between the feet if you'd like for a deeper lunge. So working legs and hips today. Side angle, reaching out, tip it over. Rotate the arms, reach high and low. Here's our side angle pose. So we're working with some warrior poses today and also pigeon pose today. Just get into legs and hips. Let's breathe in, and our exhale to turn, fold, hands return to the earth, slide left foot back, plank pose, strong straight line. You can take that same shortcut to down dog or finish your push-up. Come down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, low cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pause in down dog for a moment. Chest and head naturally sink between the arms. Loosen the neck by nodding, shaking the head. Then breathe in, fill yourself up. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet up to the top of the mat. You'll be in forward fold. Inhale, extend through spine. Crown comes forward. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Let's come all the way up, reaching into the sky. And exhale, bring your arms down to your side, finishing that flow. Good. Yeah, just check in with your body. Shoulders, hands and wrists and fingers. Your hips, down to your knees, feet, your toes. All right, let's do tree pose. A little challenge with our tree pose today. So with me, just start in mountain pose, feet balanced on the earth. Softness in the knees, just in case your knees are locked. So softness in the knees. Shift weight into your right foot. Nice grounded sense there. Inhale, get nice and tall, lengthen spine. Exhale, draw belly button in to connect. Ready for balance. We'll pick up the left foot. Maybe thighs parallel to the floor. Maybe flex the foot. We're going to swing the knee out until it just naturally stops. It could be at an angle. It might open up a little bit more. That's a nice hip opener there too. Placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. It could be high, medium at the calf, or down on the floor. Let's inhale, extend the arms all the way up. And if you can, straight up initially. Okay, straight up. Okay, focus on something in front of you. Okay, it can even be down low. Okay, like the baseboard or the floor. Okay, not dropping your head, just drop your eyes. Take the palms out and then press the air down to a warrior two arm sensation right here. Okay, you're going to flip the palms up, bring them back up. At the top here, interlace the fingers, index fingers pointing up. Inhale, reach for ceiling. Exhale, draw belly button in. Here's our challenge. Slowly start tipping your head and gaze upward. Okay, it's going to change your sense of balance, so go slowly. If you need to step out because you lose your balance, no worries, that's natural. Okay, we're looking up past fingertips and then lower the head slowly to look forward. Just release the fingers. Swing the left knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot. Plant the foot down, return to balance on 2 feet. Arms back down by your side. Okay, shake all that loose. Yes, right down to the feet. Okay, so a challenge with balance there, with that focus upward. All right, other side. Balanced on 2 feet, soft knees, shifting weight into your left foot, root. Inhale, get nice and tall, lengthen spine. Exhale, draw belly button in. We're picking up right foot. Swinging the knee out at an angle or more if it can go there without forcing it. Placing foot on the inside of your standing leg, high, medium, or low. And we'll inhale, take the arms out and up. See if you can get them straight up as best as you can. Energy through the fingertips. Good energy of this reaching, and with the exhale to keep core engaged will help. It's okay if you do need to step out. Okay, we're going to press the air down, palms down, to warrior two arms. Focus is forward, or slightly downward with the eyes. Let's bring the arms back up. At the top, interlace the fingers, index fingers pointing up towards ceiling. Inhale, point. Reach, exhale. Slowly start tipping your head and gaze upward. See if you can see your fingers. Take your time. This changes our sense of balance. Then slowly bring head back down. Release the fingers. Swing the right knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground, rebalance on 2 feet. Arms return to your side. Oof. Shake all that out. Okay, good job. All right, back to our mountain pose. Let's add on here. Let's inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale to a high chair pose, so just a high seat here. and then just slowly sink into our sofa, way back there, so we can get into our legs. Inhale, then exhale, dive out of your seat. Forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose or halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands to the floor, walk, step, or hop both feet back. Plank pose, come down if you'd like to. Chaturanga Dandasana, or some variation of movement. Yes, to get you to down dog. You can skip this part, or add parts, or subtract pieces of it. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Bend and twist open. Unwind, step through back to a warrior one. Left heel turns to the earth, root into the foot. Rise up, first warrior. Right here, we're gonna hold. Okay, like we did in that tree pose, interlace fingers. Okay, and just keep pointing up. Okay, just watch me first, just watch. Okay, because I'm gonna tip my gaze upward at my fingertips, just watch me. I'm gonna kind of loosen my legs a little bit. I'm gonna spin around to warrior one on the other side, still keeping the gaze upward. And then we're gonna spin it back, okay, keeping the gaze upward. So go ahead and take your gaze upward. This is our drishti, looking upward past fingertips. All right, we're gonna swivel around to a warrior one, facing the opposite direction, left knee lunging, still looking up for 2 breaths. Keep the gaze upward, soften the feet and hips and legs, and spin around to the front again. Look forward, release the fingers, inhale. Exhale, fold, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose, complete your series, getting you back to downward facing dog. And do the exact same thing other side. So inhale, extend left leg up, bend and twist. Unwind, step through, left foot to the top of the mat, right heel to the earth behind you, find that centering, rise up. Here's our warrior one. Settle in, then interlace fingers, index fingers pointing up, send the gaze upward, that's our drishti, looking upward. 2 breaths. Keeping gaze upward, soften the feet, legs and hips. You can spin around to the back of the room, lunging into warrior one on this side. 2 breaths. Soften, spin back around. Release fingers, look forward. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hinge and fold. Hands to the mat. Step back. Plank, finishing your flow to get you to down dog. We're going to add a warrior two, doing something similar. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist. Unwind. Step through back to a warrior one. Finding your center, rise up. Same thing, once you're tall, interlace fingers. Reach up, look up. Keep the gaze upward, spin around. Here's our change. You're going to inhale here, stay here, but exhale, open to warrior two. Gazing out past left hand, left knee lunging, right leg straight behind you. Let's go ahead and take a side angle pose, reaching out, tip it over, left hand down, right hand up. You can even turn your gaze up past right hand, which is pretty typical in the Ashtanga practice. Just that movement of spinning to the other side is a very Ashtanga practice. Let's breathe in. Exhale, turn, fold, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. You can take a shortcut to down dog here if you'd like, or a full vinyasa. Once you're in down dog, we got to get to the other side. So inhale, extend left leg up. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the earth, find center. Rise up, first warrior. Once you're tall, same thing, interlace fingers. Point upward, look upward. Keep the gaze up. Let's spin to the front of the room, still in warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Adjusting the feet as need be. Gazing out past right hand. Side angle pose, reaching out. Rotate the arms, reach high and low. And if it feels okay on your neck, turning your gaze upward past left hand. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, our return to the floor. Hands to the mat. Slide right foot back, plank pose. Taking your flow of poses to get you to downward facing. Let's bring knees to the floor. Take a little break here. You're going to sit back into hero. Actually, you're sitting into child's pose. So if you want to, take the knees a little wider and then sit back. Now your hips might reach the heels, but they don't have to reach the heels at all. And while you're in child's pose, I'm just going to give you some options and what you can do here, just some possibilities of what you can do while you're in this posture. As you sit back, your arms just might be out in front of you, kind of in a relaxed style. That's perfect. You can even activate this by just reaching out more, like you're trying to crawl off your mat. Even rise to fingertips. Yeah. Even feel like your hips are being drawn back. And just notice the sensations you create in this pose. Again, you don't have to stay here. You don't have to do this. These are just some things to play with. You can do a side stretch if you'd like, taking the arms or hands out to the edge of your mat or the corner and reach so you can get a stretch through the opposite side body. And if you do one side, of course, do the other side. Another option, I'll just throw at you another relaxing pose, just embryo pose, where you keep your forehead on the ground, but your arms come around to the back as if you're reaching for your ankles or feet. But really let the arms and shoulders relax there too. So just some other options for you. I'm going to take 3 more breaths. And then come up to hero pose. But if your knees need a little break, just go ahead and take a seat because I'm just going to demonstrate this next thing. So we're going to do pigeon pose, but we're going to use the bolster. This too is optional, so if it doesn't feel quite right, you can actually move it out of the way. But I think what this does is, one, it gives you a bit of support. It lifts the hips and it supports the body. And so the leg extending back behind you doesn't feel too overly stretched. At least that's what I experience. But in the front leg, I think you get a little bit more sensation if you just want a little bit more in that hip and just other sensations. So just watch on how we'll get into the pose. So we'll come up onto the knees. We'll be behind the bolster. I'm going to bring my right foot around and get nice and tall here. But I'm going to move my right foot over to the left side. There. Lean forward and just come down to my hands or fingers. Carefully and slowly send this knee down. It's a different way of hip opening, just bringing that knee down to the floor here. Now I'm kind of off center, so I want to make sure I square out the hips. I'm just kind of lifting and just getting my hips square, so I'm here. So I'm already feeling that deep sensation on the right side. Again, if this is too much, move the bolster. And then crawl forward just to get some extension through spine. You can stay up tall or come down. Maybe bring your block around because you won't be too close to the floor because of the bolster lift. So maybe use your block as a way to relax the head here. We'll stay there for a bit. When we come up, I'm going to sit off to the right side, bring this left leg around, come to cobbler's pose, sitting on the bolster. That just puts more distance between the
knees and the floor, a little bit more of a stretch in the inner legs. And then to do the other side, we'll just spin around and just do the other side. So we'll be facing the back of the room. Okay? All righty. So let's come up. We've got our bolster right in front. Maybe a block out front there too. We're kind of in a camel pose prep, so we'll just up onto the knees. We'll start with the right foot. We'll step over our bolster here. Maybe get up nice and tall initially. We're going to send that foot over to the left side. Reach out front, hands out in front of you. Carefully, let's bring this knee down to the floor and adjusting your hips so you feel a bit more square. And just notice how this feels initially. That left leg extending behind you. Again, for me, I don't have that strong stretch like I do if I wasn't using the bolster. I feel more sensation up front. Crawl forward or step the hands forward. And maybe slowly come down to elbows, perhaps. Maybe rest your forehead either on stacked fists or a block if you have one here. We're going to hold this for a bit, but at any time, if you feel either uncomfortable or your body is starting to react to the pose rather than soften into the pose, then you may want to soften and come out of the pose completely. Okay? So sometimes poses, they do have time limits. Your body says, okay, we're done. So it's okay to start to come out of those postures when you feel that alert. So what you can experience here, certainly sensations. Notice the left leg extending behind you. How that may be affecting the pelvis, maybe the hip flexor, even the thigh, the foot on the floor. And the right leg bent in front of the bolster. How is it feeling in the outer hip, the inner leg here? And kind of opposing sensations. There is a sense of kind of holding yourself in place, so there's some engagement here. But at the same time, is there the ability to kind of soften or relax, just kind of sink into the pose. All right, 3 more breaths. We'll move in slow motion to come out of the posture. And just rise up, maybe come up onto your hands. If that blocks in front of you, maybe just set it to the side. Okay, way out to the side, because we're going to be turning around, right? Then lean over to your right side so we can bring this left leg around so we can come to cobbler's pose. So soles of the feet together, holding on to shins, ankles, feet or toes, nice lengthened spine. And the legs will just kind of naturally just fall open. You can add more sensation by leaning forward if you want to, but you really won't have to lean too far. So I think just because of sitting on the bolster. Yeah, good. There we are. We're just going to take 3 more breaths here, so not here too long. We're going to get set up for the other side. Let's go ahead and rise up if you are folded. Okay, we're going to maneuver. Coming off your bolster, just turn around so you're behind your bolster. You might need to move it so it's in the right spot. Let's get our block in place. We'll step, when you're ready, step the left foot over the bolster. Get nice and tall initially. Then we'll get this left foot over to the right edge of your mat, or just to that side. Lean forward so you can get your hands on the mat out in front of you. Slowly bring left knee down so we get that pigeon pose, bent knee. If you kind of sit off to that left side, let's see if we can maneuver the body to get a little bit more aligned and centered. Notice the sensations. Change this as you need be. If you need to move the bolster, please do. Maybe step the hands forward as if you're crawling forward, then slowly lower your way down. Maybe resting head on stacked fists, or if you've got your block. And just settle in. That combination of engaging to help hold you in place, but also that softening of the body to help kind of sink into these sensations. Just letting these stretches happen naturally. The right leg extended behind you. Getting into that hip flexor, the pelvis. The left leg bent. Noticing these sensations. Where do you feel? What do you feel? Holding for a few more breaths, just seeing if the body can kind of settle even deeper into the pose. We'll take 3 more breaths. After your 3rd breath, just slowly starting to rise, coming up onto the hands. You move your block out of the way. Lean or shift over to left side. So we're going to bring the right leg around. You're still facing the back of the room. And just come to cobbler's pose. Soles of the feet together. The weight of the knees just kind of fall open. Noticing that stretch. If that's too much, maybe just come off the bolster, sit on the ground instead. A little hinge forward if you want a bit more sensation, and you can change these as needed. Let's take 3 more breaths. Then hinge your way back up if you're folded. And same maneuver to turn around. So come on to hands and knees behind the bolster. You'll be facing the front of the room. And just move your bolster out of the way and just come to hands and knees. And here, just cat and cow while we're here. Arch of the back as you inhale. Exhale around the back, a little tilting of the pelvis, curvature of the spine, engaging of the core. So just gaining mobility back, not only through the spine, but also through the pelvis. If it feels good to add other movements, maybe circling the hips, or just kind of sitting off to the side, then the other, just add those if it feels right to you. We'll take 3 more breaths. And after your 3rd breath, just come to a neutral tabletop posture. Your gaze or drishti is directly down between the thumbs. Moving back into down dog. So you might even step your hands forward a little bit, getting the hands and wrists out from underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Do 1 more cow pose. That's the back bend. Look forward. Exhale into cat pose. Round the spine. Hold cat. Then lift your knees. Then send your hips into the air. Downward facing dog. Chest sinks between the arms. 1 more flow here. Inhale. Extend right leg up. Bend and twist. Now stay here, or if you're able, flip the dog. Be aware of your neighbor. Flip the dog up. Right foot comes down. Left foot turns around, so all 10 toes are facing the back of the room. You're reaching up with the right hand. You might even reach over your head towards the front of the room for this twisted back bend. Inhale here. And exhale, flip back over. Right hand down, right leg up. Right foot to the top of the mat, back to a warrior one. Left heel to the earth, root. Rise up, first warrior. Exhale, opening to warrior two. As you're able, more distance between the feet. All you have to do is just wiggle the right foot forward a little bit, maybe the left foot back a little bit. That'll deepen the lunge. Nice and tall. Side angle, reach out. Rotate the arms, reach high and low. Even send left arm overhead. Reach through fingertips towards this front wall. Yes. Nice openings in the body today. Breathe in. Here we go. Exhale. Let's turn, fold, hands press into the earth, slide right foot back, plank pose. Finish your sequence as you'd like. Modify or take a shortcut to get you to down dog. Same thing, other side. Beware of objects on the floor here. So inhale, extend left leg up, bend and twist. Feel free to stay here, or if you're able and want to, flip the dog. Left foot down, this is wild thing. Turn right foot around so the feet are firm on the ground. It's like a back bend, lifting the hips up like bridge. Left arm reaching up, maybe overhead. Twisted back bend, our wild thing. Breathe in. Exhale, flip back over, left hand down, left leg up in the air. Then left foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Right heel roots, find balance, rise up, first warrior. Exhale, opening, warrior two. More distance between the feet as you're able. Nice lunge, strong legs. Side angle, reach out. Let's rotate here. Follow right arm overhead, reaching through fingertips towards the front wall. We're taking a breath in. And exhale to turn, fold. Hands to the mat, step back, plank pose. Finishing your series as you'd like. Meeting in down dog, take a couple breaths. Shoulder stand or some inverted pose. Feel free to hop forward, cross legs, take a seat, or just kneel down to take a seat. We will roll onto your back with a little momentum. Take the legs and hips up into the air and just catch yourself in your hands for the shoulder stand. Or just carefully come down to your back, lie flat on your back, and just extend the legs into the air. Or you can set yourself up like bridge, feet on the floor, grab a block, or your bolster, lift the hips and get that prop underneath you to sit on, and then extend the legs. So you have some options for your inverted pose. As you're able, we're going to cross right ankle over left thigh. In kind of a modified plow. The left foot just reaching towards the back wall. Doesn't have to come to the floor. So you have this number 4 shape with the legs. One leg crossed. That's it. You can even, if you're lying on your back, on the ground or even on a block, you can just do the reclining pigeon again. Just bring the legs back up, re-extend the legs, and do the other side. Cross left ankle over right thigh. It's kind of modified plow where you take the right foot down behind you. Noticing these sensations. Again, if you need to come out of your pose early, since we're upside down here, please feel free. When you feel complete, bring the legs back up, straighten the legs, and then just carefully making your way back down to the earth. And create a back bend here. This could be fish pose, or bridge, or wheel. I'll walk you to fish. So straight legs. You're going to get to your arms underneath you. So that means getting the shoulders a bit underneath you, lying on top of your arms, sitting on your hands. Palms are down, but you're sitting on the tops of the hands. Long, strong legs, point your toes. Press the elbows or the backs of the arms into the floor to lift your upper body. Lifting up, arching the back, tip the head back so the back of your head or the top of your head touches the ground quite lightly. Feeling the sternum, your heart space lift up towards the sky. And there's our arched back, fish pose. Long legs, pointed toes. There we are, got some good options there. Bridge. Good, 2 more breaths. If you happen to be in fish pose, to come out of the posture, lift your head off the floor, tuck your chin towards chest, lie down, and then release the arms out from underneath you. And just pause for a moment, everyone, in a Shavasana posture. Now you can just stay here. This could be the end of your practice, but we can add a few more things if you'd like. Maybe draw knees into chest. I'll give you some options. You can do this in any order. So you might add a twist, taking the knees to one side, your opposite arm to the opposite side. Be sure to twist both directions. Or maybe another hip opener. Maybe it's happy baby pose or reclining cobbler's pose. We did the seated version. You can do the lying down version. So in any order, you can do some of those postures or do the one or ones that just feel right to you. Take your time as you're moving through these conclusive postures, twists, hip openers, leg extensions, back bends. And when you feel complete with your added movements, just make your way to Shavasana or any other restorative pose. Since you do have that bolster, maybe take advantage of it. Maybe you have it behind your head or underneath your back, so you're kind of on an incline. It's a nice way to be in the pose. Or bolster underneath your bent knees. Or kind of this long back bend feel where you're sitting on the bolster and you just kind of over the top of it. Yeah, there you go. So take some time here. You're certainly welcome to shift or change your positions, especially if you're using any props. Wherever you are, return to breath. Just as you did at the beginning of your practice, noticing how your body is responding to your breath. Feel your breath. Listen to the sound of your breath. It doesn't have to be too loud, but see if you can still hear your breath. no need to move just yet. Just check in with your breath. Be aware if you're starting to think. As thoughts enter your mind, just take a deep breath in, and perhaps with the exhale, imagining blowing that thought away, or just setting it to the side, coming back to it later. For now, come to this moment. Once again, return to the awareness of your breath. If thoughts have entered your mind, take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, blow that thought to the side. And then just continue with 5 slow, deep breaths, remaining in this moment. And as you approach your 5th breath, feel movement return to your body. Allowing movement to return to your body, preparing to move. If you happen to be lying on a bolster, you might just kind of roll to the side, kind of slide off the bolster. Or if they're underneath your knees, see if you can reach and slide or use your feet to scoot the bolster to the side and then roll to your side. Even pause there for a moment. And just continue to move in slow motion and guide your way up to a seated position. You can just sit on your mat or on a block or on your bolster again. And wherever you are, nice lengthened spine, relaxed shoulders. And just one last movement together. Inhale, extend your arms out and all the way up. Good. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Taking one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.